shows up in a big white Suburban like that, I'm like, I don't have to worry about them. They're going to take care of themselves. Would I take a big Suburban down the trail? Probably not, but these guys obviously do it, so I'm good to go. Bring your trucks up as close as you can, and we're going to need all hands on deck. We're going to have to move bunch of stuff. The line, you're just going to come down nice and easy. If you do need a spot, we're going to continue moving on. If you do need a spot, just mention it and we'll get somebody to come out of the truck and come and walk you through it. White Suburban, you doing okay back there?
No problem.
Sweet. Any guy that shows up in a big white Suburban like that, I'm like, I don't have to worry about them. They're going to take care of themselves. Some trucks are just like, man, these guys know what they're doing. I mean, would I take a big Suburban down the trail? Probably not, but these guys obviously do it, so I'm good to go.
drop. Oh.
Where I'm at right now, there's a bypass to the right, or if you want to take the V-notch, just be careful and don't fall in the V-notch, but just choose your own adventure kind of spot.
So in this section of trail, there's a V-notch. Before dropping into Long Branch Creek, Joseph in the Jeep that's in front of me dropped off in the V-notch with his right front and lifted the left rear about 2.5 or 3 foot off the ground. right here, I had Brody get out of the truck, go down the waterfall, get his feet, his shoes soaking wet to video me going down this waterfall. And I lost that video too. But it was pretty steep. I even drug the rear bumper on the Suburban. So this is the start of Wayne Benson. We started on the east side and headed west. At the very beginning of this route, after the burnt house, there's a small hill climb that's muddy. It's kind of cut back. So here I got stuck and Joseph in the Jeep had to pull me out. So at this point, things started going bad. I was feeling urgency to get up the hill and help them move the tree. So I got stuck on this ledge here and I backed up and gave her the beans. This ledge right there, I backed up and I gave her the beans and bounced over that. It hit pretty hard. So after I got over the ledge there, you'll notice the ruts next. So I bottomed out in the ruts. All 4 tires were spinning and I was going nowhere. I got the winch ready. I hooked it to the Jeep in front of me. Later, after I started pulling the Jeep backwards, I swapped and hooked the winch to the tree that's a little further up there. I was at the very last couple rounds of rope on my winch, but it held and it pulled me up the hill. So after getting off of the Wayne Benson Road or Wayne Benson Trail, I had mud packed in the bead of my tire and my right front tire was going flat. That's the tire that took the hardest hit bouncing up that ledge. So we got the bead clean enough to hold air. We put air back in it and we headed to Pumpkin Hollow. So on the way to Pumpkin Hollow, we had to drive back through Frenchburg, and along the way I realized that there was something definitely wrong with the front end. My steering wheel was 180 degrees off, but everything felt tight. So I climbed underneath it and took a quick look, and it was packed with mud, so I really couldn't see anything, but I didn't see anything that was terribly wrong or easily seen. So I went ahead and run Pumpkin Hollow with the damaged front end, and you will see that when I got back to camp, my trail riding was over and I went into overdrive trying to find parts to fix the truck. So when I hopped the ledge, one of the times I hopped the ledges, either earlier in the day or the second time, I broke the knuckle at the lower ball joint on the Dana 44. So I was trying to scramble parts, and I'll tell you what, the people in what I'm calling East Kentucky, maybe they call Central Kentucky, are some of the nicest folks you'll ever meet. I had people trying to find parts that I had no idea who they were or what vehicle they were in. I don't know if they were locals or if they were on the trail ride with us, but I had people coming out of the woodwork to help me find parts. And unfortunately, nobody had parts. So on day 3, I really got to worrying about my situation. My truck was broke. There was no way I could drive it home. So I was trying to find a welder to maybe weld the knuckle to the ball joint just to get me home. I finally settled on getting a U-Haul. That was the cheapest route. A wrecker was going to cost me about $1,250. I was 6.5 hours from home. So the U-Haul ended up costing $750 or so, which really sucks, but that's the only option I had. I thought maybe I could have my wife come get me, and I leave the truck at one of the shops or something, and buy a knuckle and drive all the way back, replace the knuckle, and then drive it home. But then I still had the problem with the steering wheel 180 degrees off. So that didn't seem like the right thing to do either. So I want to give a big shout out to Ed. He saved my bacon, gave me a ride to the U-Haul, and just man, he really helped me out. Ed, if you're watching, man, thank you. I appreciate it a lot. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. So after getting the U-Haul back to Callie's campground, my anxiety was a little less. I was a little more relaxed, and I was able to enjoy the group gathering and the giveaways and stuff at the campground down there for the Back the Byway event. It ended up being pretty good. Brody ended up winning a little RC, 4-wheel drive RC that he's been saving his money for. So whoever purchased that used it as a giveaway for a kids only event. That was awesome. I thank you for that. The event turned out really good. I really enjoyed it. It's a smaller event, and I really like that. Everybody, we pretty much got to know everybody that was there, especially with me breaking down and people trying to find parts for me. And I just couldn't believe how nice the people over there was and how much they wanted us to get back on the trail for us to get back home. That meant a lot to me. So here you will see the knuckle that I broke. It's hard to see the crack at the lower ball joint, but that's the damage there. So I thank everybody that tried to find me parts. I thank everybody that helped. I appreciate the people that did the trail rides. Daryl, Phil, thank you for leading those trail rides. I appreciate it. Everybody at Callie's, what an awesome place to camp. Well, the Daniel Boone was awesome, but I wasn't expecting to leave that way. Now we know the biggest thing that'll fit on a U-Haul trailer. So this is my setup to get back home. It was a 20-foot box with a 20-foot flatbed. It did not pull the Suburban very well at all. When they say 55 mile an hour, they actually mean 53 mile an hour. Anything over 53, it got squirrely. So you'll see here coming up that the straps, they weren't quite long enough to go over the 33-inch tires, so I had to flatten the tires, get the strap around them, get a couple rounds around the strap, and then air the tires up till it felt like they were going to bust the straps. And you see at the front, it's all the way to the very front, hanging off a little bit, and the tires on the back was within an inch of running off the back. All right, so as you can tell, I'm back in the shop. We made it home. That was an ordeal getting that thing back home, but so now we're going to go over what I broke, or the major thing I broke. There's some small stuff that I seen that I did, but I'll just do a little short clip here of the reason why I had to this tire get a U-Haul. It's straight up and down 90 degrees with the ground, but I come around over here next to my giant trash pile. Just ignore that. You'll notice this tire is not at 90 degrees to the ground. So if you look there, see how far that knuckle is split. So I noticed that, and I noticed quite a bit of contact with my tie rod and a drag link here. They come in contact pretty good with the ground. The drag link again, but as far as anything that seems to be bent, the track bar out of whack on the steering. Now it's adjustable now, so I can push that out and align the axle underneath the frame again. But if it's bent, I'm afraid that's a weak spot. But my reason for that is you can tell how close the and then on this side, the driver's side, you can tell that the spring is pushing away from the frame, and I can get my whole hand in between there. So that's the reason why I think I may have bent my track bar again. So another reason where this arm is pointed straight back and the steering wheel will be straight. How far the wheel is turned. And you'll notice that my mounting arm it's not cracked, pushed straight back. So I don't know, and I don't, maybe. I really, my steering strip. So I really don't know. All the nuts are still tight on it. They really don't. So I really don't know. I'm gonna have to take it all apart and figure it out. I'm still, this is now 3 weeks. When you see this, it'll be 4 weeks after I broke it. So I'm still recording this. I still haven't found a knuckle unless I get one. I've run some the week in between filling this down and the recording. So if anybody has a 2000 or 2001 Dodge 1500 with the Dana 44 front end, I'd like to have both knuckles. I really don't want to buy a whole axle. If I want to buy a whole axle, I'm just going to upgrade to a Dana 60 and then probably sell off this half-ton stuff. So, but if anybody has a knuckle, let me know. We can work something out. Just email me or message me in the comments. And I think my email is also in my profile. So if you would get a hold of me and maybe we can work something out to give me a couple of knuckles, I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. I just want to slide in here and say, no, you cannot buy them new, aftermarket new from Napa, O'Reilly's, AutoZone, whatever. They have what they're calling 94 to 2001 knuckles, but the brake caliper brackets are different on the 2000 and 2001. I have to have the 2000 and 2001 model. I just thought I'd let you know that. I didn't realize